Welcome to Talk About It with Queen Esther. I am your host, and this is Queen Esther. It's good to have you all here, my old and new family, community members. Good to have you. What are we celebrating today? Today is a very special day, celebrated globally. I am happy I'm a woman. So, today is International Women's Day. Drums roll! You see, representing Talk About It with Queen Esther, putting on my full regalia to represent Talk About It with Queen Esther on International Women's Day. So sit back, relax, and go nowhere. Make sure you subscribe for my new community members. Subscribe to this channel, give it a thumbs up and share my videos so we can keep flying. Thank you so much. So, what is International Women's Day? I'll be talking about just International Women's Day today. So that's what today is all about. So please. International Women's Day, also known as IWD for short, is a global day celebrating the social, economic, cultural, and political achievements of women globally. The day also marks a call to action for accelerating gender parity. Wow. So, when is IWD celebrated? IWD is celebrated every 8th day of March annually. So, this is a day that has been set aside to celebrate women internationally. Now, for 2025, what is the theme for this year? So, the theme for 2025 is accelerate action. Accelerate action. It's a very beautiful thing. I love this thing so much. So I would want to encourage us to all accelerate action by speeding up the rate of progress worldwide, progress of whatever you're doing to make sure that, women have equal rights, to make sure there is gender equality. So you need to accelerate that which you're doing for that action. So it is also for all women and girls' rights, equality, and empowerment. So what are you doing to empower that girl child? What are you doing to empower that woman on the street? What are you doing to empower that market woman that needs financial empowerment to boost her business? What are you doing to empower that girl, that lady that is in the university? So there is so much you can do, to celebrate International Women's Day. It's also a day, it's not just for to advocate for gender equality and all of that. It is also a day to celebrate women. You celebrate your colleagues, celebrate your sisters, celebrate your group people, celebrate other people, celebrate their successes. Okay, so that is what International Women. So what is the color for International? I'm just giving you tips by tips what's International Women's Day and all the things that are attributed to International Women's Day so you understand better. So what is the color? The color associated with International Women's Day is purple. The color, we all know that the color purple is royalty, is a beautiful color. Color purple is the color of IWD, which symbolizes justice, dignity, and loyalty to the women's movement. Woo! Color purple. Purple is a beautiful color. So we're going to get down to the rest of what it is that you need to know about IWD. Okay, so why IWD? Why do you need to engage in International Women's Day movements? Why do you need to engage in, the awareness, the everything they are doing? Why, as a woman? Not just a woman, men too celebrate women on International Women's Day. So why International Women's Day? IWD is celebrated annually as a focal point in the women's rights movement. IWD focuses on issues such as violence and abuse against women, reproductive rights, gender equality, and the likes. So gender equality means everyone is granted the same rights, privileges, and access to opportunities regardless of gender, regardless of whether you are a male or a female. You are given the same rights, the same access, the same opportunity, you know, to thrive, to excel. So that is what gender equality is. So now, what is not acceptable in IWD for me, I feel is not acceptable. You can prove me wrong. We want to see a world free of discrimination, stereotypes, bias, a world free of all of this. We just want a world of inclusivity, diversity, and equitable. Is that too much to ask for? Let's continue. So now, I want to give us a brief history of International Women's Day. So IWD has been around for over a century. Its first gathering was in 1911 with support from over 1 million people. That's a good one. That's a good start. It is a global movement for all who care about women's rights, equality, raising awareness about discrimination on women, stepping up in forging gender parity, celebrating women's successes, just like I mentioned earlier, and achievements. We celebrate our successes, our achievements. This day is celebrated, this event is celebrated globally. So over 150 years ago, this one really broke my heart, but well, it's better late than never. Over 150 years ago, women couldn't access adequate medical care, rights to equal pay at work. We were excluded from parliament. We were excluded from a whole lot of things. We couldn't even own properties. We couldn't vote. We couldn't, we were excluded from public, areas, public gatherings. We were forbidden to wear some certain clothes. And the list goes on. This is what we were going through as a then. So how did things change? Change happened gradually. It was a gradual process. It wasn't easy, and it's still happening. The change, we've not gotten there. It's going to really take a whole lot of time to get to where we desire to get to. But hey, like I said, it's better late than never. It's better we keep going gradually until we get there. So change happened gradually, and it's like I said, it's still happening through women and men. You see, men who came together to fight for, what is right, to fight for what is just, to fight for what they know that it is right. So that is how change came about. So we are so fortunate to live in a time like this, where many opportunities are in abundance, unlike in years back, decades back. So we are so opportune to have, opportunities in abundance. Everyone can access medical care, access to education, get a job, a good paying job, and stand up for what is right. So we are so opportune to live in a time like this. Now, what is the future? However, we still have a lot of work to do. We still have a lot of work to all what IWD is against by coming together, with one voice to say no to injustice, to say no to bias, to gender inequality, and stereotypes. I implore you today, make IWD, International Women's Day, a part of you by fostering gender equality, women and girls' rights, and empowerment for women and girls. One unique thing I like about International Women's Day movements one, it's just it's a movement that is powered by the collective efforts of all for driving gender parity. That is what makes it very unique and impactful. It is not just for, for this person and not for this person. No, it is for all coming together, all groups coming together to make sure this stands and keeps getting better by the year. So, what IWD is and is not. IWD is not a specific country, group, or organization. It is not. It is a gathering of all collective groups globally. You see groups coming together to celebrate International Women's Day. You see groups, doing different things, touching lives, empowering people, doing a whole lot. If you go online, you will see a whole lot of groups, organizations, even the corporate world, the NGOs, social associations, different groups are celebrating International Women's Day globally. So it is not just for one person. It is not for a select few. It is for everybody, for all. In fact, all in caps, ALL in capital letters. Okay, so I'm going to strike the pose for this year's theme. It's like this, so watch me carefully. It's like this, like you're showing your back, so So this is it. Accelerate action for gender equality, for parity, for women and girls empowerment, rights, and equality. Thank you. And the hashtag is IWD 2025, hashtag accelerate action. And please, if you can, hashtag talk about it with Queen Esther, because we are celebrating International Women's Day too. I hope this video has inspired you with a little bit of knowledge, the basics, on what International Women's Day truly is, where, when, and how it's celebrated or marked globally. So, everyone, everywhere can support International Women's Day. Talk about it with Queen Esther. Your story and inspiration to someone. Love you all. See you next time.